Hi everyone, it's Flora. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing another review and manga comparison of Fruits Basket. We are now on season 2, episode 5. So this episode picked up where we left off, getting ready for summer break. It is now officially here and very exciting to see what will happen with everyone during their vacation. I was so excited to finally see Kureno animated because if you all know, I am a manga fan for many years and I have been waiting to see him animated for so long because the original anime didn't get far enough to introduce Kureno, and it was very cool to finally see him animated, and I'm very excited to see how they handle his character for the rest of the series. Honestly, the anime followed the content pretty well. Like, they might have mixed around some things and kind of blended it together to make it one episode, but they've only made a few minor changes, which I'll talk about. I'll be using the Tokyo Pop books to do my comparison, so let's get started. Episode 5 was a very well done and balanced episode. It had some genuinely fun moments and even some romance, while also letting the story change tones to allow more mystery and seriousness. This is one of the things I love about Fruits Basket, and overall, I'm really satisfied with this season so far. This episode focuses on chapters 48 and 50, and although the anime follows them very well, they do arrange some things to incorporate the events into one day for the episode. So first, I will do a brief summary of each chapter and then go through the episode and compare it to the original manga. Chapter 48 starts off with school being let out for the summer. After some classroom discussion, Toru and the Somas go to a haunted house. Afterwards, everyone heads back to Shigure's house to have dinner together. Toru starts saying that she feels that something will happen this summer, and then it cuts to Hiro visiting Rin at the hospital. Rin mentions that she will never give up on something, and then it switches to a scene with Shigure and Akito. The last part of the chapter goes back to Toru, where she states that she's anticipating summer and that she can't put the feeling into words. Chapter 50 is where Kureno is introduced. The chapter starts off with a flashback scene through Kureno's perspective, where he meets Otani at the convenience store. It then skips to a few days later, where Otani is working at her second job at a cafe, and sees Toru, Hanajima, and her brother Megumi coming in to visit her at work. They have a conversation about a few topics, and then it skips to Otani leaving for her lunch break that same day. While walking, she sees Kureno again and runs after him. They both decide to get lunch together and talk, but the meeting ends with Otani getting upset and leaving. Kureno runs after her to apologize, and they talk some more. Just as Kureno leans in to kiss Otani, he turns and walks away without a word. The next scene is later that night, with Otani, Toru, Hanajima, and Megumi out for dinner. She shares about what happened with Kureno, and they all talk some more, and it ends with Otani wondering if she'll ever see him again. The last scene of the chapter is Kureno smiling sadly, where he returns to Akito at the Soma estate. Episode 5 starts with the beginning scene of chapter 50, where Kureno meets Otani for the first time. I thought this scene was so well done. It really matched the manga, and this episode had some of my favorite music scores of the series so far. I get blown away that we are finally seeing this content animated with color and voices and music. It makes everything hit different, and I'm just so thankful for this amazing reboot. The only differences here are that in the manga, Kureno bumps into Otani, but in the anime, he just walks up to her. The anime decided to add a quick flashback of Toru dropping notebooks just like Kureno, and I'm glad that they added this so we can get a visual reminder of how similar their mannerisms are. One of the first things I noticed with anime Kureno is that they gave him eyelashes, giving him a more youthful look. I love the anime's take on his character, and he just turned out so beautiful. The scene after this is the beginning of chapter 48, with Mayu-sensei dismissing the classroom. This scene is basically followed the same with some minor changes. In the manga, the conversation they have here about part-time jobs and Toru actually happens after the Kureno meeting Otani flashback. Toru, Hanajima, and her brother visit Otani at her cafe job, and this is where they talk about part-time jobs, Toru being busy taking care of the Somas, and the guy Otani met at work. While they're all talking, Otani's coworker yells at her to get back to work, and Hanajima invites them all to get dinner that night. The coworker then asks Otani if she'll introduce him to one of her friends, and she says, "You want to eat the curse of their bodyguard?" while Megumi stares at them from afar. After this scene is when she runs into Kureno again. But instead of this separate scene, the anime decided to merge this with the chapter 48 content, and I thought it was really well done. Instead, here Hanajima asks what they should do that afternoon, and this opens up the conversation about Otani's jobs and so forth. Then it continues chapter 48 with everyone meeting up outside. This part followed the manga exactly. The only difference I noticed is that the anime doesn't always show the background characters' reactions as much as the manga does. Usually in the manga, when the somas are in a public place, there are strangers staring at them, blushing at how pretty they all are, I guess. The haunted house is pretty much followed the same, and it was so fun to see. Having the sound effects really added to the moment, and it was nice to have some lighthearted fun. The shot where Yuki and Kyo reach their hands out to Toru is a little different though. In the manga, there's a detailed close-up, but in the anime, it's more distant. The rest of the haunted house is followed exactly, and I loved Kyo's reaction to the store owner. It's nice to be able to hear the emotion in characters' voices in anime form. After this, the episode goes back to chapter 50 content, with Otani leaving for her lunch break. The scene where she spots Kureno and runs after him is followed beautifully, and I loved the music during the scene. In the manga, there are a couple additional lines that Kureno says internally. He says, "Could it be that she's been thinking of me as much as I've been thinking of her?" The rest of Otani and Kureno's interactions follow the manga exactly, and it was so amazing to see Kureno animated. I liked him in the manga, but I feel like I will enjoy his character a lot more in the anime due to these extra details they've given him. Everything is followed the same up until Kureno grabs Otani's face to kiss her. In the manga, there is one shot where it looks like they're gonna kiss, but in the anime, they added another shot of him leaning in even further before he turns away. I thought this scene was so well done, and the music was so beautiful. The next scene in the episode with Otani, Hanajima, and Megumi having dinner is pretty much the same, except in the manga, Toru is also there, so there's some more dialogue that happens. For example, in the manga, Hanajima says, "I wonder if he's worried about the age difference. Is 9 years too big a difference?" And Toru replies, "My mom and dad were 8 years apart, but I hear they were very much in love." And then she says, "But I have to admit, it feels a little bit lonely knowing that one of my friends may have found her special someone." After this, Otani tells Toru, "You'll be someone's girlfriend before you know it, and then he'll want to keep you all to himself." But since Toru isn't there in the anime, she just tells Hanajima that they'll both have to crash Toru's first date, which is also said in the manga. After this, the episode goes back to the end of chapter 48, with everyone having dinner together at home. This is slightly different in the manga because after Yuki and Kyo say they're exhausted, the chapter wraps up with Toru saying that she feels like something will happen this summer, and then it shows the first scene with Rin. The anime already added this scene at the very end of season 1, which I thought was a great decision. So since that's already been done, in the anime here, Toru just says that she's really excited for summer break. The last scene of episode 5 is the last part of chapter 50, where Kureno returns to Akito. I thought this scene was really well done. You can see how sad Kureno is, and the extra detail the anime can give with lighting, music, and voice acting really makes the scene more dark and tragic. This scene is similar to a panel in the manga, but the anime decided to add another shot of Otani looking up at the sky. I really like this addition, and it sets up the tension for the plot thickening. I'm so excited. Beach arc, here we come! Alright, that's it for my manga comparison. Thank you all so much for watching. And the rest of this video, I will be talking about what I expect for the next few episodes of Fruits Basket, and it will have some mild manga spoilers, so I'm warning you all in advance now. If this is your first time watching the anime and you don't want any spoilers whatsoever, I suggest you exit this video when I put in my manga spoiler warning so that you don't get ruined of anything that's coming up. I would hate for that to happen. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you on Monday with my episode 6 reaction. Take care, bye! It's manga talk time. So now, the rest of this video, I will be talking about some content in the next few chapters of Fruits Basket that have not shown up in the anime yet. So let's go. So I've been keeping a spreadsheet in Google Docs of the season so far and the manga chapters and how they're all kind of lining up. And overall, pretty much they've covered everything before the beach arc except for that one scene in chapter 37 I've mentioned in my previous few videos. They still haven't shown it. I don't know if they're gonna do it, but I'm still hoping that they will, maybe. I kind of thought they would show it in this episode because I felt like they kind of set it up in episode 4 with Kyo looking at his bracelet and feeling regretful about hurting Toru back then when he was in his true form. Originally, Kyo talks to Toru about this not too long after the true form arc, so I feel like it's a little late to be bringing this up now, but I don't know. It could still happen. They might incorporate it when they're at the beach together. I'm not sure. So we'll just have to wait and see. I still think it's a good moment that he apologized to her and made sure that she was okay and that she didn't have a scar from whatever happened. And I like that episode 4 gave him some reflection about it, but I was still kind of expecting the scene from chapter 37 to come up, but it wound up not coming up. I originally thought the beach arc would start with episode 6, but we still have to get through chapter 53, which, I don't know, they might just spend the whole episode 6 on chapter 53. Also, we have a big reveal coming up soon, the identification of the Hat Boy. Yeah, that's gonna be big. That's gonna be big. So I'm not sure if they're gonna show it in the next episode or if it's gonna be in episode 7. I have a feeling it's gonna be in the next episode. I don't think they're gonna start with the beach arc content until episode 7, but they could potentially combine chapter 53 and then start the beach arc, but I kind of feel like they should probably hold it and just start the beach arc with an episode right at the beginning. I just know that I'm excited and I'm nervous as heck. It's gonna be... I feel like the beach arc is one of my favorite arcs of the entire manga. I'm not sure why. I think part of it's just because the story takes a different turn and it gets more serious and a lot of stuff is revealed, like people's feelings and whatnot, and there's just a lot of drama. I also really like the art style during these chapters. I know some people who have only watched the anime so far were probably shocked to find out about Kureno being 26 and Otani only 17. So there is a 9-year age difference, and yeah, it's a little, you know, but I don't know. They still stuck with it. I wasn't sure if they were going to keep it in the anime or if they would change things, because you know what's coming eventually with Kyoko, and that's even worse. So yeah, I don't know what they're going to do about that. I kind of hope that they up the ages a little bit, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's weird watching this now as I'm older, because when I was in high school, middle school, I was reading this for the first time, and I was just like, oh my god, they're in love, blah blah blah, it's so great. And I didn't really think about the age difference back then, and now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, she's still in school. I don't know about this. But when you think about it, Kureno's had a very isolated life, and he never really got to experience things of the outside world. I don't know. We'll see where they go with it, but they'll probably stick to the manga, I'm assuming, with ages. I just hope they change it with Kyoko, but we'll see. I am very excited for this next episode. We are almost to the beach arc. Finally. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I mean, I've loved the season so far, but let's be real, we've been all waiting for this for a long time, and it's gonna be good. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content and you want to see more. I do post 2 videos a week now of Fruits Basket. On Mondays, I post my episode reaction, and then on Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, I post the manga comparison and review. So yeah, I love Fruits Basket a lot, and I would love to talk to you all, so feel free to comment below. I really appreciate the support. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, it's in the description below. I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so you're welcome to come in and say hi and we can talk about Fruits Basket, because I would love that. That's all for now. I'll be back with my next video on Monday with my episode 6 reaction, so that's it. Take care and see you next time. Bye!